The woods would be a very silent place if no birds sang except those who sang best. Bernard Meltzer. Well, hello and welcome to Producer Dan. I'm Dan. Thanks very much for stopping by the channel today. So that was the quote that got me singing again. It gave me the confidence to sing with my own voice, to put passion and empathy into my songs, and to relax a little bit, and just know that not every singer is an expert. Not every singer has a 4-octave range and can do all kinds of vocal acrobatics. I think the most important thing in delivering a song is to put it through yourself and to deliver it with empathy and passion. And if you can do that, then you've done 75% of the work. Which brings me to the other 25% and the subject of our video today, which is Melodyne vocal editing software, or Auto-Tune. I use Melodyne Editor in all of my productions just to polish up some notes, but I also use it for other things. You can create harmonies, you can shorten notes, lengthen whole phrases, you can change whole chords of songs with the Melodyne Editor with something they call the DNA algorithm, which senses all the notes in the chords, whether it's a piano or a guitar, and you can go in on the grid and make changes to the chords, to melodies, to harmonies. There's so many things you can do with Melodyne, and we're going to look at that today. I'm going to take you into a Pro Tools session of a song that I recently recorded called September Blue. I'm very proud of this song. I did a choir at the end, and I did use Melodyne to tighten up my harmonies and also to create harmonies that weren't there in the first place. So let's go into the Pro Tools session now, and I'll show you how I did this with the Melodyne Editor software. So in this example, I'm going to tune this guitar. This was an electric guitar piece that I put on to mimic what the acoustic guitar was doing. And I panned this to the right, and the acoustic guitar was on the left. And it sounds lovely when they play together. But I did capo my guitars when I recorded this song. And when I put the capo on the electric guitar, it kind of threw the tune out just a little bit. I didn't fix it because I kind of liked the way it sounded. It was just a little sharp, so it kind of differentiated itself from the acoustic. So it was fine. But for this demonstration, I'm going to tune this. So here's what it sounds like without tuning. You can tell that's a little sharp in some of the notes. It didn't bother me at the time, but it certainly could use to be tuned. So we're going to insert Melodyne in the insert. So I'm going to move the EQ down because I want that to go in before the EQ. So there it is. So the first thing we have to do in this case, since we're doing a polyphonic tuning, which means many notes at the same time, we'll go up here to the algorithm and we will set this as polyphonic as a default for now. And so when I press transfer, it's going to all transfer onto the Melodyne grid and we can tune it from there. And there it is. This is a very simple fix. I'm going to highlight everything. And you can see everything is a bit sharp here. Everything is a bit sharp because of that capo. So I'm going to just pitch correct the whole thing by moving this to 100%. And you can see all of those notes have just drifted down into the center of the notes there. Also, I'm going to use the pitch drift tool because I believe there was a chorus in the effects that I used that may have aided or added to that kind of wonkiness in the tune. So I'm going to see if that'll help by doing this. And let's listen to it and see how we feel about it. Okay, I think that sounds pretty good. Okay, so now I'll tune the bass guitar for you. So here it is. I have two basses, actually. I have a MIDI bass and a real bass, and I've panned them right and left just for a nice stereo bass sound. And we have to make sure that the algorithm is now set to the melodic and not the polyphonic. And I might ascend in the next strong wind above limited bonds of humanity to join you amidst the blue. Okay, that's enough for demonstration's sake. As you can see, that bass is in tune. The only note that's a little off is this one right here. But what you could do is this, just highlight everything and run it through the pitch correct. And I usually do about 80%, but in this case, it certainly wouldn't hurt to do 100%. And as you can see, that note came down to that G sharp. All right, so what I'll do now is I'll just play you the choir on the final mix, and here's what it sounds like all mixed down. I see you in September. Yeah, I see you, September blue, September blue. Yeah, I see you, September blue, September blue. Yeah, I see you, September blue, September blue. All right, so now I'm going to take you into the Pro Tools session where I actually mix down the choir and tune the vocals. Let's go to that now. Okay, so now we're in the Pro Tools session for the choir, and you can see all of these violet or purple tracks are each vocal track that made up the choir. And you can see at the top I've put Melodyne at the top before the EQ and before the compressor. So here's what the choir sounds like after the tuning and in solo by itself. Now keep in mind, I don't have any effects on this. These are basically raw vocal tracks with just a little bit of EQ, but that EQ is just cutting off up to, I don't know, 200 or 300. Just to get rid of those low frequencies where I knew I was not going to use those. I hear a song in the wind chime now, and I'm alone, and I feel it. I feel love when I see you. September blows. And now I'll play you the choir without the tuning, without Melodyne, and then we'll go into a couple of the tracks that I've picked out to show you some examples on how to actually change, to add a harmony when there wasn't a harmony there, to remove breaths, to change volume, to change timing. We'll do all that now. But here's what it sounded like before the tuning. And full disclosure, it's a little rough. So I did this one night, all in one night, take after take after take. And I'll explain later how some of these actually got through. I hear a song in the wind chime now, and I'm alone, and I feel it. I feel love when I see you. September blue, September blue. Okay, so you can tell it's a little rough, and there was one particular track where that got through that's actually in here that I actually mixed in with the choir, but I was just trying to find my way, and you can tell, I'll play it for you now, I was just trying to find my way, and what I sang had nothing to do with a melody or harmony or what. So I actually built the harmony from this nonsensical phrase or melody that I put down. I hear a song in the wind chime now, and I'm alone, and I feel you, yeah. I feel love when I see you. Okay, so had nothing to do with what we were doing, but the words are there, and the timing was right. Here's what it sounded like after I tuned it. I hear a song in the wind chime now, and I'm alone, and I feel you, yeah. I feel love when I see you. Okay, so much better. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So I'm going to take out the Melodyne that's in there. I'm going to retransfer it, and then I'll tune it in front of you and show you exactly what I did. Okay, we're finished. That's going to render. I'm going to quickly zoom in. The first thing we're going to do is zoom in so we can see it. And I think this is nice. You can actually do that a little more by going like that, but I don't really need to do that here. I think I like to be able to see everything all on one screen. And the next thing we're going to do is take it off the grid. Right now it's snapped to the grid. Like if I tried to move one of these notes, it's going to move it one step above, and it's going to lock it to the grid. But I want to take that off. So that's the first thing I do is under the pitch grid, no snap. So now we can move everything freely up and down just like that. So here it is. I hear a song in the wind chime now. Okay. I hear your song. Let's see what that sounds like. I hear a song in the wind. I hear song. A song in the song. I hear a song in the wind chime. Okay. I hear your song in the wind chime. The wind chime now. A song in the wind chime now, and I'm alone. When I'm alone. That's not bad. I'm alone. A little flat there. And I'm alone, and I feel. Okay, these are all flat. And I feel. And I feel. And I feel you, yeah. I feel love when I. And I feel you, yeah. Looks like we can cut that here. Feel you, yeah. You can use this tool to cut the notes and then make changes rather than moving the. If we move this big blob all together, then all the notes will be moved together. So we use this cutting tool to do that. So, and back to my pointer tool. Yeah. And I feel you, yeah. Feel you, yeah. 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 Feel you, yeah. I feel love. Feel love when I feel. This is the note we want. I feel love. I feel love when I see love when I see you. Okay. So this is what we have now. I hear a song in the wind chime now, and I'm alone. And I feel you, yeah. I feel love when I see you. Not bad. It sounds natural. So we didn't have to do much there except for move some of the notes. And here's something I also wanted to share. I was on a website just doing some research for this video, and I stumbled on to Studio Hustlers, and he did a video on Melodyne, and he had a nice tip that I'll share with you. When you do make your corrections, and you know it's a vocal that's going to be right up front, and you want to do it as best as possible. I didn't do it here because this is a background vocal, and it's not really going to stick out that much. But if you cut off your consonants, like your S's and your T's and your ch, you cut those off the note before you make the changes, because if you make the change with the consonant intact, I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly, with that transient intact, it's going to move and it will change its pitch as well, and you don't necessarily want to do that. So let's find an example and I'll show you what I mean. I hear a song like s. Okay, here is, I'm going to revert this back to what it was before. Okay, and I don't know that you'll hear much of a difference here, but we're going to take this cutting tool, and this is how you find your consonants. All the vowels have the squiggly line, so I hear, all that is a vowel sound. And then when you get a consonant like this song, like the S sound, the squiggly line disappears and becomes the S sound. So you take the cutting tool and you double click on it, and that'll fall down here. And that's its natural pitch. We want to keep that natural pitch of the consonant sound. And so now we can make changes to the vowel without changing the consonant. And again, I would only do this if I were doing it the main vocal or the main backup vocal in a song that I knew it would show. If I was changing the note drastically, then you want to do that. If you're changing it, if you're just making minute changes, it's probably not that noticeable. But that's just a tip I wanted to share with you. I hear a song. I hear you. I hear a song in the wind. So we changed it by that much. I'm not sure that it would have made that much of a difference, but that's a tip I'll pass on to you. Okay, so here's an example. I'm going to show you how I use Melodyne to extend a note. I'm alone. This lone. Alone. We can pull this out, highlight it, and then pull. I'm alone. So you can make those changes in Melodyne as well. Also, breaths. You can take out breaths. Like that. It's not that noticeable, but if you wanted to take it out, there it is. You just highlight it and remove it. But imagine you have 12 people all doing this, and then all taking a breath in on all of these different tracks. The more breaths you take out, the better. You're just going to clean up the mix by doing that. Okay, so with the pitch modulation tool, you can take out not only the vibrato, smooth it out, but you can also take out some quivering. Amber blue. Okay, this might be a place where we could smooth it out just a little bit. Blue, amber blue. I feel love when I see. Let's say I wanted to take out this vibrato here. Could highlight this, just pull down. Love when I see you. It lessened that vibrato a little bit. We might even. I feel love when I see you. You want to be careful because you could really make that sound robotic but you do have that tool available to you. Oh, September blue. Here's another example where we could take out this vibrato. First we'll use the cutting tool. Oh, September blue. Okay, so we just highlight this. Let's try the pitch modulation tool. Oh, September blue. Okay, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to use the pitch drift tool. Instead of smoothing out the vibrato, it's going to keep the vibrato, but it's going to move the vibratos in a more consistent pitch. You see what that did? It brought some of the lower ones up and some of the higher ones down. Oh, September blue. You can tune the note, keep the vibrato, but tune the vibrato as well by using the pitch drift tool. Okay, so now I'm going to show you an example of how you can de-ess with your Melodyne. It's kind of along the same lines as cutting off your consonants, which we will do. And there's an S right here, you can tell. That's where the vowel stops. Love when I see you. So this S sound, it's not terrible, but just for demonstration's sake, first thing we do is come to the note separation tool. So we can make it cut, and we'll cut off the S. And so that's where that S is going to stay. We're not going to move that. Quickly, I'll just tune this note because it's a little flat. It's not bad. But here's the S, and so we're going to come to the amplitude tool, okay, which looks like a little balloon or a little blob. And we can make this bigger or smaller. Obviously, we'd like to make it a little smaller, so I'm going to hover over it, press down, and then pull down with my finger. And that will lessen the S sound. And I see you. We can make it louder if we wanted, but just for example's sake, make it a little louder, and I see you. Which we don't want to do. So now, again, like with breaths, if you have 12 people singing the same thing and all inhaling at the same time and saying S's and sh at the same time, particularly if we're going to do a choir and we're going to leave in a lot of the high end, you can lessen those S's or the ch sound or the t sound and take out all the breaths if you want. Maybe leave a few in to make it sound natural. So that's another nice way you can use it. There's so much you can do right here in the window. So let's say I said this phrase just a little too early. With Melodyne, you can simply highlight all of the notes and move them all at once if you'd like. You can also, let's say that I said this first part a little too quickly. What you can do is just highlight the notes you want to move, which should be these, and then move them back over. And that'll keep the same stopping point, but will move the starting point. And so you can stretch those words or phrases out just a little bit. I feel love when I see you. Obviously, I've done that here with this U sound. I have pulled this just a little bit more to extend that note just a little bit. It sounds a bit unnatural because you can tell that it has lengthened that vibrato. Actually, I've actually pulled down that vibrato quite a bit. So it's less noticeable. And again, you've got 12 voices going on, so it's not going to stick out that much. So I've showed you examples of how to tune a guitar with the polyphonic option, where you can go in and just tune certain plucked notes and leave other notes alone. That is a nice option that comes with the Melodyne Editor. And so I think this is a good time to go into the Celemony website and just show you the different options available and what you get with each option. Okay, so here we are at the Celemony.com website, and they are the producers of Melodyne. And the version I have is just called Melodyne, but now they're up to version 5. So you're going to see Melodyne 5. Also, if I wanted to upgrade to the Melodyne 5, I would just have to pay the $99 upgrade fee. It's not something I want to do, but it is an option for you if you have one of the old versions of Melodyne and you wanted to upgrade to version 5. You can do that here. Here are your starting versions of Melodyne. So you have the Melodyne Essentials for $99, and this will give you your basic vocal tuning tools like pitch and timing. I'm not sure that this comes with a cutting tool. It certainly doesn't come with the pitch modulation or the pitch drift tool, but if it's just basic tuning that you want, which is awesome, there it is for $99. Then the Melodyne Assistant, where they actually throw in the vibrato and probably a few others. I'm assuming this one would include the pitch drift tool as well, and that's $299. I have the Melodyne Editor, which includes all of this. I think the biggest thing that they offer with this over the Assistant is what they call their legendary DNA algorithm, and that is for the polyphonic audio. So you can tune a guitar, you can tune a piano, anything with multi-notes. This DNA algorithm is going to sort that all out for you so you can change specific notes, change whole chords if you want. Now, they do offer this Melodyne 5 Studio, and by the looks of it, basically with this version you can look at multiple windows all in one window. You can look at multiple tracks all on one window, which I'm assuming would make that a lot easier if you were tuning multiple tracks, like a chorus, like we just did actually. And so it would help out with workflow. I personally don't need to spend $850 on this. And to tell you the truth, I have only purchased 3 plugins. I've purchased my Melodyne, I've purchased my Easy Drummer, and I also have the Isotope 7 for mastering. Those are the only plugins that I purchased. Everything else I work with is right out of the box in Pro Tools. So that concludes my Melodyne video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Again, the song is called September Blue. It's released today on all music platforms. September Blue by the artist Daniel Douglas. That's me. If you like the song, go ahead and look it up, download it, add it to your playlists. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm looking for more subscribers. I'd love to have you on board. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care.